Well, good afternoon. It's afternoon for me at least. My name's Ian. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the shed. So, I got myself in a right tangled heap yesterday, didn't I? And I stayed up quite late. All the neighbours looking through the curtain. What is he up to? Floodlights going, I would say stripping outside, but I wasn't stripping outside, no. That's no wonder curtains would be twitching then, wouldn't they? No, I was stripping outside. Stripping my wire, but just cutting the ends off and coiling it to compact it to get more in the car so I could go to the old anvil yard this morning and get rid of some of it. Big thanks to the guys at the old anvil yard because I turned up last night at 10 minutes before closing time. You know, not the most popular guy at the time, but it was only one type of weighing, so it was just straight into the bins and gone. But a big thanks for them to not pull in the face too much. But like I said, last night I stripped it all, separated the majority of it, took it in this morning, and if I get time in this video I'll go through the figures. If not, the next video, because I need to discuss the black low grade copper cable. However, when I come outside first thing this morning, the scrap furries hadn't been and done it all for me. And why, if I've been to the yard this morning, haven't I taken the rest of this lot in? Short answer about that is we've got to cut all the ends off the Ethernet cable. And Scrapping Irish is eventually, isn't it, Pooh's mate? Eventually going to do a video of how to get those gold pins out. So I run out of time last night. That lot still needs processing. That lot, as you know, it was dark. I have a friend who wants quite a few yards, meters, goodly length of internet cable, Ethernet cable. So I thought, well, that kind of looks like it's all come off a coil's bust open. So I threw that to one side, but as I look at it in the cold, harsh light of day, we got an end there. Now we got an end there. But we also got an end there and there and there and there. And at a quick count, I counted something like, there was another end there, another end there. I counted something like 8 ends, another end there, another end there. So I'm going to decoil that, see what the longest length is I've got, and then I can weigh in the rest. Ethernet cable, surprisingly, as I said last night's video, goes in as household cable. Robert at the yard telling me technically if I had a ton of Ethernet and a ton of household, the Ethernet would fetch more money per ton, but who goes in with a ton of Ethernet? Right, then I've got to find one for this lot, but we're going to have a bit of a play, aren't we? Because when I opened this box yesterday, I said, oh look, danger. We all like a bit of danger, but look at that, 12 volts. All fused, and looking at the end of it, it just takes one of those plugs that plug into the mains. So why don't we plug one into the mains and see what we get out of it? So later on I'm going to have a bit of a play just for myself, because all scrap and no work, all work, scrap and no play makes Ian unhappy. Oh, it's not like that. That's today's plan. Well, yeah, the shed, alas, is full of iron because I didn't get a chance to take it in yesterday. So I've got to find some temporary storage for my iron until my next Friday weigh-in. Well, we might have a play with these. We ended up with 3 of these, rather nice. Quadruple sockets with an on-off switch. Don't they say anything? They say like surge protected or something. Power strip. 13 amp. Wow. 3,250 watts. Load. Pretty beefy. We might plug one of them in and have a play at that. Once we've done all that, well, I've just come out now and so I went shopping after the anvil yard and I got myself some beers. Just 2. I'll try and cut down. Try to get to be a slim dad for the wedding later this year. So we picked up this, I don't even attempt to say it, Fi-Si. No, it's got a little squiggle underneath the C, which means it sounds like something else. If I say feces, that sounds like something else altogether. It might taste like feces. Shut up, Ian. 100% malt. So we'll give that, I like the shape of the bottle, to be honest. And then I saw this, red beer. A red ale. Well, you can't go wrong with a red ale. Ooh, eyeballs. 4.8 off Axis Brew. So, 5 sweet malts collide with 3 bitter hops to create a ruby red ale, as full-bodied as it is fruity. Caramel and toffee notes. If we get time, we'll go through that. Then the postman come. I were expecting this. Stephen sent it me. Thank you very much, Stephen. I know what it is. It's another type of hand wire stripper. I've seen these advertised. Always wondered how they'd work. Stephen contacted me. He said he had a couple. Would I like one? So send me a picture. I might already have one, but when he sent it, I went, wow, yes, I fancy having a go at that. We'll open that afterwards. My first and foremost problem is because my missus weren't too happy this morning. Well, last night for that matter. I didn't have to sleep in the shed. I just said, look, when I weigh in, I will show you with money. She says, you've been saying that for years and you've never done it yet. Not going to show you tidying all this up. It's just grind, isn't it? Grind and grind. But when we get a little bit more sorted, we'll see what was interesting in it. See you in a bit. Well, won't you look at that? I don't know if you're going to see it very well, but it's all gone. So, about 6:20. So I've probably been out that now 4 hours. Where did it go? Well, let's go in the shed. The only thing I've got to sort out, that'll be a different video, that. Tomorrow, Sunday. I'll sort that out and then we're back to normal in here. Out here, should I say. Right, I've got the fire going. So, where did it go? After an arduous trip through time and space to a secret location, we've stored all the iron. We've stripped some of the boxes, and yeah, we've made some space. Of course, well, we've taken the trouble to come here, and it will be rude not to fill up my bag with what that be now? 1, 2. We're on our third bag of circuit boards. Wow! Is that the shiny glint of gold we see? Nah, we don't want to do that. Alright, listen, it's going to take me a quantum leap to get back to my house, my shed. So I'll see you back there. Yeah, so that's where it went. What's it like in here? It's not too bad. Got a bin full of cable there. Right, I've brought in all that purple cable, which I'm now going to uncoil, decoil. It's already decoiled, isn't it? I'm going to wrap up into smaller coils. Already started. Any small bits is going in a bin. Like I say, it's what is 20 past 6. And then I'll open my package, have a beer. What else did we get? Oh, there was a battery in that lot. New. 11th of February, January, February, March, 22. So that's a year old. Tell you what, we can test that. I think I've got my charger around here somewhere. There it is. So Top Don, who sent me this, let's stick it on there, see what happens. But first, I'll shut the door. No point burning all that wood. And letting all the heat out. Feel the heat lovely. I don't spit on it. If I spit on it, people will complain and say, "Hey, you dirty sod." So, as you can see, it's steaming. That's just soapy water. It's right. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Do that there. Black to black. Back to black. Yeah. That. Always lit up. Top Don battery tester, 12.64 volts. Okay. Battery test, okay. Actually, it is a gel. Oh dear. Yeah, blow my brains out. It is a gel, isn't it? I must have tested something gel later. I've had it at work, so maybe somebody else has used it. Cranking amps, I've not got a clue. It's not going many. What's the minimum? Starts off at the minimum. Right. Well, okay. Oh, a good battery. Healthy, 53% charge, 100, 12.6 volts. Obviously, you can't go off that 100 cold cranking amps. That says it's a good battery. Let's disconnect that. Maybe we could charge that up. Does it actually say anything on it? Oh, there we go. Oh, lead acid. Oh, we might have to do that again because it was on gel. That's gel. It can't be. 12 volt, 7 amp, C20. Anybody out there? Is that 20 cranking amps? I've not got a clue. Says it's good. We'll put it there. Right. I'll do that. See you in a bit. Well, I don't suppose there's many ways to do this. Is to get my cable snips. Oh, I do like these. And look for an end. There's an end. And just start pulling it. Oh, that was easy. Hey, look at that. This is going to be a doddle. You know what I'm going to end up with here? Piles of little pieces like this. It's 2,225 pounds a ton, I think, round about that figure. Take another end. Not as easy as what you think, this one. So, 3 beers. Oh God, no, this is not. This is an evenings. Now, see that? That's creased. So I don't care. We don't need that. Gotta cut that. So we got 2 ends. Oh, sure. This is not going to take that long. See you later, alligators. In a well, crocodile. God. Oh, that's not so bad. How's another little one? They've not all been little ones. Some of them big whoppers. Oh, I'd sooner plat sawdust. Oh, this is my last piece. Not been 3 bad actually. Hour and a half. What else would you have? What else would you be doing on a Saturday night? I've managed to, I'll show you in a second. I managed to get some good lengths out of this. What am I going to do with them? I don't know. Like I said, I was asked by someone, did I have some good lengths of Cat 6? At the time, I didn't. Now I do. And I've got to ask him, what does he call a good length? Because I'm sure I've got a good length or 2. I'm not bragging, I'm not bragging. Oh, come on, stick it around there, stick it in a loop. Shove it in again. Pull it out, make it tight. Oh, I can't get any more on. Right, it's time for a drink. Woo, Bobby Dazzler. I can put all that black cable there tomorrow. Working it because it's cold outside, baby. It's cold outside. Oh, there's the other one. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Red Dwarf. Right. We've got a bin full of for weighing in. We stuck a pole there and we've got quite a few. Biggest lengths, that's probably the biggest one. They're probably averaging 20 metres, yeah, 10 metres. That one's easily 30 metres. So, I don't know, decision time about those. Okie doke. I kept this, these are probably 50 metres in length, easily. But it's not quite the same quality. Oh. Oh, give it a good tug in. Oh, focus. Yeah, that's category 5. I actually don't know the difference between the categories. I think it might be time to Google it. Oh, who's here listening to a little bit of doo-wop? just prior to that, I've been watching this guy. Scrapping Scotland. And a very... I've been slipping... I've been flicking through his videos and he tattles all the things that we tattle. And he's got one there, of course, as soon as you mention stripping copper, there you go, 5.7 thousand views. So there's a few things there, a few videos there I'm going to have a look at myself. Scotland, you got to support Scotland, don't you, Ali Mac? John Ladd, Braveheart Scrapper, that's Tina. So I'll have a look at some of those later. Anyway, time for a boot, time for a bevy. Do I open that tonight? I don't know, I've got the time. So I'm doing a video on wire tomorrow. I'll open that tomorrow. Right, what have we got? We got Feces, and we got, how do you pronounce that? With a squiggle underneath. I think we'll go for the red ale. Oh, yeah, Albert, my mate Albert, my mate's dad, Albert. On me Merry Scrapmas video, what are we talking? Almost Christmas Eve, night before Christmas Eve. I mentioned that he'd gone in hospital, gravely ill, 96, good innings, but anyway, sadly, as I was doing that video in the evening, Albert had passed away. So, drink to you, Albert. When my dad died, I was 17. So my dad came out to work. Albert was a grand lad. He was a good bloke. So my dad come out to work, and the scrapyard was... He was probably just helping my dad out, to be honest. But he gave him a job as a night watchman. So from the age of about 12, 13, I used to go and help my dad watch the scrapyard. By God, watch? As a young lad, a scrapyard is a hell of a playground. And I used to go there every night and help me dad. And from that, Albert, you know, used to say like, well, if you're here, you might as well be doing something useful, as in go around and collecting the aluminium and stuff together. And that ended up becoming a Saturday job for me, an evening job. After school, I'd go do 2 hours, and I'd earn a fortune. Fortune in those days, whereas my friends at school were doing paper rounds, and they was like working all week, a full week, and earning, I don't know, I'm going to say 10 shilling. I'm probably exaggerating there anyway, saying 10 shilling. I'd go one night at that scrapyard, and I'd, in 2 hours, like 6 till 8 o'clock, I'd earn £1, a whole pound. I mean, that was talking like, I can't say £7 a week, because it's the laws of diminishing returns. There's easy scrap. What today the business and management gurus called low-hanging fruit. You know, you pick those first because they're easy. You know, but it's the same thing. I'd go there that night. It'd take in, I don't know, say 10 scrap cars. It was easy to go around and take all the aluminium number plates off. Yeah, there was aluminium then, black and white. Show you a picture? Maybe, maybe not. I'm a dinosaur where editing skills are concerned. Moo. You're all going to say, moo, that's a cow. Well, how do you know what sound dinosaurs made? You don't, do you? So they could have gone moo. You know? They say dinosaurs became birds. I can't see a dinosaur tweeting, you know, sitting there and going, tweet, 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 tweet. I can't whistle, by the way. One of my failings in life, I think it's one of those things I can't do that with my tongue. You know, the people who can do it, bend it double, I can't do that. Why would you want to? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's have a drink. We've digressed there, haven't we? So, Albert was a good bloke, and he was an old style scrap man, horse and cart type of guy. I've actually been out with his son myself when I was younger on a horse and cart. It was I hated when those horse and carts came into the yard, they all needed offloading, and they were full of rags. It's where it comes round from. Rag bone, any old iron, rag bone. Rags pay a lot of money. You don't think that, but if you want to go and buy rags now, you're paying over £1,000 a ton. Wow. You know what you're getting for scrap iron? £250 a ton, £1,000 a ton for scrap rags. Makes you think. So back then, yeah, everything. Back then, 1969, 1970. People made, do and mend. Stuff was recycled way better than it's recycled these days. People didn't throw things away. People made, do and mend. What did get thrown away got properly recycled. So anyway, that's donkeys years ago. But when my dad died, I was 17, and Albert became surrogate dad. Took me under my wing. Should I say this? Because my brother watches this, and his niece and his children and his grandchildren. We grew up in a rough area. I probably grew up on slightly to that side of wrong, only slightly, and it's only now, years later, I can thank people like Albert and his son Stephen, who taught me valuable life lessons that working for what you get is better than taking it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just a long time ago. I said he was a good lad, Albert, good bloke. The funeral had a massive turnout. He was a young lad, so 14, something like that, and working at the yard a while. And it was like a proper old scrapyard. Anything came in. It's not like they are these days, all mechanicized and get in, take your scrap, gone. It's a place where people came, they had a chat, you know, in the old caravan. There's a guy used to come in all the time. I used to work mainly Saturdays. Digress there again, haven't I? About going back to the laws of diminishing returns. Right, so there was only so much available scrap for me to process per day. So it's not like, oh God, I was earning £1 an hour. I make £1 for the first hour, but the following hour I probably only make, I don't know, five shilling. Not a quarter of what I earned in the first hour. The hour after, this is on a Saturday, it was like went down. It was like I got paid by weight. Whatever I stripped, I got £1 a pound for copper and brass. I got sixpence, a tanner, a pound for aluminium. Those are long days ago. Yeah, let's skip forward again. I'm losing you, and I'm kind of reminiscing. So this guy used to come in. People used to go into scrapyards and buy things. It was a car scrapyard as well, so lots of old bangers were in. People come in and take parts off. Guy used to come in, pretty regular, old guy. And Albert never charged him. And it always puzzled me because that's how they make their money. People come in, yeah, give us a couple of pounds for that, give us a pound, give us 50p, whatever. This guy, it was always, no, you're okay, you can take it. And it wasn't as though he was a friend. He was someone who came into the yard looking for stuff. So one day I was like, Albert, you charge everybody. How come you never charge this guy? Don't forget, I was only a child, 14, something like that. And he said, well, I was born 1926. So during the war, he was a farm labourer, well into horses. Looked after horses. He was a farm labourer. He was in a protected job description, so he had to work because he had to raise horses to be sent abroad, etc., etc. You know, it's like miners. You needed coal to power the ships. Miners were exempt. So he said he was exempt from war service. He says, but that guy did serve, and he was taken prisoner of war. I think he mentioned Asia, so that'd be Japan. And he said he came back a broken man. He says in part of his, what do they call it? They call it PST now, don't they? Part of his recuperation, he was taught how to mend televisions and radios. So he used to come into the scrapyard every week and look for old tellies, old radios with the valves in. And he used to say, well, can I have this? How much do you want for this, Albert? And Albert used to always say, no charge for you, you can take that if you need it. And like I said, I asked why, and he said, that guy came back a broken man after the Second World War. He says, and I didn't serve, couldn't serve. Maybe not, maybe he could have, I don't know. He said, but the best thing, what I can do is I can do things like that. I can say, there's no charge for that. I think these days they say, thank you for your service. But that was the type of guy Albert Cleworth was. Well respected. And, sorry, dragging it down, but what a man. I was proud to be at his funeral. That's for you, Albert. Thank you for all you did for me 45, 50 years ago. Wow. Right. I'm going to open one of these beers. Have another toast to Albert. The funeral was only 2 days ago. We'll go for the red ale. Why not? Right, so just before we do that, look at that. I've got a bit of a walkway. Eyeballs. Bit of a chicane here. Like I said earlier, we did some work. I've more bench than everyday Solars has. I really don't weep. I'll take some of these things apart maybe tomorrow. These. Well, I thought they were BNC switch boxes, but they're not because of the fibre cable. Never taken anything like that apart before. And a few other things. We're going to wire one of them up and see if we can do a bang. But apart from that, we have got some workspace. Right. Time to nearly go in. Where are we? 2 minutes to 8. I think Raphael's scrapper will just be about starting. But I've been out here for since 2 o'clock. I need to go in and shower, etc. Right, let's have a beer. We're going to be rather posh and have this square glass. I could use this pint glass, but I've had my WD-40 in it. So, no, I'd rather not. Right, here we go. Crimson Tide. More eyeballs. 4.8%, not particularly strong. We've gone through the 5 sweet malts and everything. It's let's see if it's really red. Well, I'm not colourblind, but I wouldn't say that were red. Well, it's a red ale. Yeah, if it came out red, I mean, like red, then you'd be thinking, well, what sort of chemicals in that? Wouldn't you? But it's a ruby red ale, you know, a bit like the Goblin one, I guess. It's been an interesting day today, I'll be honest. How do you drink out of a square glass? I believe Jack Daniel glasses are square, so you drink out the corner so you don't lose anything. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I'm not trying to cool it down. I'm trying to blow some bubbles off the top so I can see if it's red. It's definitely amber. I think red is pushing it. Very malty. Well, it should do. It's got 5 malts in it. You know the malts I like though, don't you? Single malts. And it is hoppy. Fat Andy, you need to try this. It's from Aldi. No, it weren't from Aldi. Where have I been? Oh, see, I can't even remember I bought it. Pause a minute while the cogs think. No, it weren't Aldi. Home and Bergen. So I got the, whatever that says, Fi-Si. Although that squiggle underneath means it's got a to it. So Fisi. We've been through that. Haven't we? Home and Bergen. £1.29, I think it was. Anyway, I like it. It's I deserve it. Who do you think you were, Ian? You were bloody posh when you were brought. You were dragged up. Right. I've made some space. I can get rid of that big air conditioner thing I brought home last week. I'll have all that space. It means all that black cable could come in here tomorrow. and that's a whole different video. So Stephen, I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's you know, I'll have sent most of my insomniac subscribers to sleep by now anyway. Yeah, but a great big thanks. More about that. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. That's just, wow, one phone call, innit? One phone call and all your best laid plans gone to waste, and the entire weekend gone. And the missus jumping up and down saying, what the heck's all that in the back garden? But it's gone now, it's in here. How long will it be in here though? How long's a piece of string? I know the answer to that. It's twice the length, the middle to the end. Enough said. See you around. Bye folks.